Thank you, Senator Scott Ryan. And now I invite the State Member of Parliament, Hong Lim. Mr. Hong Lim, have a few words with us. He's a member of Clayton. Big hand for Hong Lim. Tranh biểu Hồng Liêm sẽ nói mấy lời với chúng ta. Xin quý vị một tràng pháo tay.
Thank you very much for that kind introduction, Father Anthony Nguyen, to Archbishop Vincent Long Nguyen, Bishop Hilton Deacon, my parliamentary colleagues, state and federal. I think I probably just need to make a small remark about the Archbishop Vincent Long, because I had the opportune time to make a member statement on your ascension to the office of bishop, and I remember also that I was not the only member of parliament to celebrate that very, very special occasion, not just for the Vietnamese community, but for all the Asians, because we know that you're the first one to be celebrated as such, and we are all very, very proud that that's a long journey from a humble refugee to the Archbishop and care and providing all the pastoral care to all the migrant community in the western suburbs. So we hope that you will continue to provide leadership. And now today we have your leadership as well on this very, very momentous evening. I know that one of the leaders community made this remark that this rain, this wet is nothing compared to the pain, the agony, the injustice that has been perpetrated to the Catholic community in Vietnam. And we all come here tonight to share this pain and to make our voice heard that this is intolerable and unacceptable in this modern world, that when we're talking about human rights, that we're talking about the freedom of religion and freedom of speech and the dignity of human being, that what happened in Vietnam is not acceptable, and we condemn it in every possible way. I bring to you the sincere apology from my parliamentary colleague, Luke the Netherlands. You probably know him very, very much, and he with you all the time, and he has been to Vietnam to witness firsthand, and apparently apprehended by the authority there when he went to Vietnam to investigate the situation. He sent his apology. I also like to convey the apology from the leader of the opposition, Daniel Andrew, who will know about the event tonight, and he asked me to pass on to you all his sincere congratulations for being here tonight, because it's very, very important to continue to make the concern heard all over the world, that we cannot accept what's going to Vietnam. Any simple human being can only have to Google and to find out the atrocity, the perpetration of such an inhuman act on the believer, on people who now believe in the religion. And the latest incident that we have heard, and also the continuing confiscation, the appropriation of church property. For God's sake, this is unbelievable. This is, I hope, if we believe in hell, these people will rot in hell. There's no salvation for them, but they will have to account to the whole world that this continuation down that track is not acceptable by any civilized community, by any standard. And I hope that this message will be loud and clear, and we will continue to make this noise, and we will continue to tell the whole world that what happened in Vietnam is not acceptable. You see, what they forgot is that social media at the moment, and this days and age of modern technology, is a very, very powerful tool. It's a very, very powerful tool, and we will continue to use that, and it will serve our purpose. We will tell the whole world what happened in Vietnam, and we will tell the whole world that what is being perpetrated on the Catholic community, on any other religious community, is not acceptable, and the whole world will watch, and will watch with a very, very concerned eye, and we will continue to make noise. So congratulations for being here tonight, and I will convey to you that I will take what I see tonight and convey to all my parliamentary colleagues, particularly on the opposition side, and I hope to make a member statement to make a record in the Parliament that the Victorian Vietnamese Catholic community are very, very concerned with what happened in Vietnam. So I hope that we continue to have the partnership. We are going to continue to take the journey under the leadership of the Archbishop Long, so that we can achieve what we ultimately wish for the Catholic community in Vietnam. So congratulations for being together here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Xin quý vị một tràng pháo tay thật lớn để thank you.
Thanks so much.
Và người dẫn biểu phát biểu cuối cùng đó là thượng nghị sĩ Bernie Finn. We introduce a member of the upper house, Bernie Finn. We have a few words with us. Xin quý vị một tràng pháo tay.
Thank you very much indeed, my Lord Bishops, my parliamentary colleagues Murray Thompson, Scott Ryan, Hong Lim, members and leaders of the Vietnamese Australian community, ladies and gentlemen. I come here tonight as a friend of the Australian Vietnamese community. It was many years ago that I entered politics, and one of the reasons that I entered politics was to fight communism, because communism is against freedom. Freedom is basic to the basic needs of every human being. God intended us to be free. Communism flies in the face of that freedom. Now I stand here tonight not just as a friend of the Vietnamese Australian community, but also in the western suburbs, but I stand here as a Catholic. Bishop Long here is my bishop, and it's wonderful to see him. And tomorrow when I go to Mass, I know I will do so with safety. I know that I will suffer no ramifications for me going to Mass tomorrow. Nobody's going to take a shot at me. Nobody's going to rough me up. Nobody's going to cause me any grievous bodily harm as a result of that. And when I'm at Mass tomorrow, I'm going to be thinking of my fellow Catholics in Vietnam. I'm going to be thinking of my fellow Catholics in every communist country, because they, every week, when they express their basic belief in God, every week, they face the communist way of doing things. They face the violence of communism. They face the harassment of communism. They face the evil of communism. That's something that we here in Australia I don't perhaps understand. Many of you do. Most of you probably have fled from that evil of communism. What we are here tonight to do is to tell that evil communist regime in Vietnam that we want them to allow the Vietnamese people to have human rights. We want them to allow the Vietnamese people to believe in God and to practice their religion. It is a very basic right of every human being, and one that we must all uphold. And I have raised before issues in the Parliament about human rights violations in Vietnam, and I'll certainly do this again. I am hoping that the Vietnamese government is listening tonight. I am hoping that they realise that there is a good number of people out here who've been standing in the rain for quite some time. I hope they realise that we are fair dinkum about what we say about defending the human rights of the Vietnamese people and their right to practice their religion. I hope the Vietnamese government is listening, and I hope they are listening with both ears. If they're not, I'll just say one thing. And Bishop Deacon mentioned before that a number of people go to Vietnam quite a bit, and the tourism industry is quite big in Vietnam these days. Well, I'll say to everybody who is planning to go to Vietnam for a holiday, to stay in their hotels, and to spend money in their shops and put money into the Vietnamese economy, until such time as basic human rights are respected, until such time as the right to worship is respected, don't go to Vietnam. Boycott Vietnam. Tell the communist government that we will not tolerate their evil. Just don't go, cancel your holiday and let the Vietnamese government know why. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you all the very best in your quest and particularly for this most important cause in Vietnam, the freedom to worship, and it is a delight. In fact, it is a very great honour to be with you tonight. Thank you.